Once upon a time, in a small village in Zaria, between towering mountains, there lived a spirited young woman named Amina. Her laughter echoed through the streets, and her kindness touched the hearts of all. But despite her bright spirit, Amina was bound by the traditions of her family, who insisted she marry a wealthy suitor chosen by her parents. One fateful evening, during the village's grand festival, the air buzzed with excitement. Lanterns lit up the night, and music filled every corner. Amidst the festivities, Amina spotted a striking figure, Gabra, a passionate artist from a neighboring village. He painted the world with colors that seemed to breathe life into his canvases. Drawn to him like a moth to a flame, Amina felt an instant connection. As they danced beneath the stars, Amina and Gabra exchanged whispers and dreams, their hearts entwined in that magical moment. But the shadows of tradition loomed over them. When the festival ended, Amina returned home, her heart heavy with the knowledge that her parents were determined to see her wed to a man she did not love. Days turned into weeks, and the weight of her impending marriage grew unbearable. Each evening, she would sneak away to the hidden glade, where Gabra awaited her with sketches and stories. The glade became their sanctuary, a place where they could dream of a future together, far from the prying eyes of their families. But the village was rife with gossip. Amina's betrothal was announced, and her family prepared for a grand wedding. Panic surged within Amina as she learned that her fiancé, a wealthy man named Amir, had been chosen not just for his wealth, but for his influence in the community. One moonlit night, as Amina and Gabra sat in their glade, she shared her fears. "What if I'm trapped in a life I do not want?" she whispered, tears glistening in her eyes. Gabra, resolute, took her hands. "We can elope. We'll leave tonight. We'll find a place where love knows no boundaries." They devised a plan, deciding to meet at the edge of the village under the cover of darkness. But as the night of their escape approached, ominous signs began to appear. Amina's dreams were haunted by visions of shadowy figures watching her. She felt the weight of her family's expectations pressing down on her. On the night of their planned escape, a storm brewed overhead, lightning illuminating the sky in flashes. Amina's heart raced as she slipped away from her home, cloaked in darkness. She reached the glade, but Gabra was nowhere to be found. Doubt gnawed at her. Had something gone wrong? Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. It was Gabra, drenched from the rain, his face etched with worry. "I'm sorry I'm late. I was followed," he panted. "We need to hurry before anyone discovers us." With a storm raging around them, they began their journey, but fate had other plans. As they approached the village's edge, they encountered Amir and a group of his friends, lanterns in hand, searching for Amina. Gabra pulled Amina behind a large rock, their hearts pounding in unison. "I won't let them take you," he whispered fiercely, determination burning in his eyes. They held their breath, listening as Amir's voice carried through the night. "She cannot escape her destiny. She belongs with me." As Amir and his friends searched the area, Amina felt a mix of fear and resolve. "We can't turn back," she urged Gabra. "We have to keep moving." Just as they prepared to slip away, a gust of wind blew through the trees, knocking over a lantern and casting a glow on their hiding spot. The group turned, and Amir shouted, "There they are!" With no time to think, Amina and Gabra ran deeper into the forest, heartbeats echoing like drums. They could hear the shouts behind them, the thudding of footsteps growing closer. As they navigated through the thick underbrush, Amina stumbled and fell, scraping her knee. Gabra paused, helping her up, urgency fueling their escape. "We can't let them separate us," Gabra urged, lifting her gently as they continued to flee. Eventually, they reached a steep cliff overlooking a serene valley. The moonlight bathed the landscape in a silver glow, and for a moment, they stood in awe of the beauty around them. But the sound of approaching footsteps shattered the tranquility. "We can't go back now," Amina said, panic rising. "What do we do?" Gabra, scanning the landscape, noticed a narrow ledge winding down the cliffside. "We can climb down. It leads to the river. Once we're across, we can escape into the next village." With no other option, they carefully descended the ledge, every step a test of faith. The wind howled, but they held on to each other tightly. Finally, they reached the bottom, breathless but alive. As they raced toward the river, the sound of Amir's voice echoed in the distance, filled with anger and betrayal. "You cannot run from your fate, Amina. You are mine." With the river in sight, Amina felt a surge of courage. "We'll cross this river and find a new life. We must believe in our love." Just as they reached the water's edge, Amir and his friends caught up to them. "You'll pay for this defiance," he shouted, anger blazing in his eyes. Amina, filled with determination, stepped forward. "Love is not a possession, Amir. It cannot be bought or forced. I choose Garba." With that, Amina and Garba plunged into the river, the current strong but invigorating. As they swam, they felt the weight of their past drifting away. They emerged on the other side, soaked but free. Exhausted, they climbed the riverbank, panting as they collapsed in the tall grass. Looking into each other's eyes, they realized they had crossed not just a river, but the barriers of tradition and expectation. Days turned into weeks as they traveled to a neighboring village. They faced challenges, but also encountered kindness and understanding. Amina and Garba's love blossomed, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. They shared their story with others, becoming symbols of hope for those caught in the web of tradition. Eventually, they returned to Amina's village, but this time, it was different. With the support of newfound friends and allies, they spoke to the villagers about the power of love and choice. Slowly, hearts began to change. The villagers listened, moved by Amina's courage and Garba's passion. Amina's family, witnessing her unwavering spirit, finally embraced her decision. They realized that true happiness could not be found in forced unions, but in the genuine connection between two souls. In a beautiful ceremony, Amina and Garba married, surrounded by those who now understood the essence of love. They danced beneath the stars, the mountains echoing with joy. And so, Amina and Garba became legends in their village, their story passed down through generations. A tale of love that defied all odds, reminding everyone that true love is worth fighting for. True love transcends boundaries and challenges societal norms. It reminds us that happiness lies in following our hearts, even in the face of great obstacles. If you enjoy the stories I share, please subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell so that when even I post, you'll be notified. Thank you, and stay blessed.